Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo master Nightfall run, Warden of Nothing with Warlock. For my subclass, I'll be using the stasis shade binder. Here in the mods and fragments, I'll be using this video. For my kinetic, I'll be using the Stay Frosty pulse rifle. For my energy, I'll be using Lemon Arc with the catalyst. For my heavy, I'll be using the Corsair linear fusion rifle. For my helmet, I'll be using linear fusion ammo finder with firepower. For my gauntlets, and of course the double turrets exotic, I'll be using bow reloader and anti-barrier pulse rifle with counter charge. For the chest plate would be 10 resilience, double solar damage resilience with firepower. For the legs, I'll be using 10 resilience, pulse rifle holster, and the We Got Power, firepower. Lastly will be 5 disciplined, solar operative, loosen finisher, optional by the way. So for the artifact mod will be the Lord Kelvin's overpowered, where you can stagger overload champions with stasis and void grenades, especially the turrets. For this week, I decided to go for Warlock stasis. Today is the lightning crystals, and I decided to just abuse the power or firepower with the turrets. And I gotta say, it's really fun to stagger the overload champions with the stasis turrets on Warlock. Mainly, I'll be doing that a lot. And with the combo 11 arc, it is extremely deadly in a good way. And it really helps out to deal with the overload champions. Or you could use osteo, or you can use any heavy. But for this video, I decided to just go for lemon arc. So I am abusing and throwing turrets. Now I do advise to not throw the turret next to the barrels. They do kill your turret, which I don't like, but it always has been for many years. So be aware of where you throw your turret. Make sure it's from the left side. Left side, most definitely. Not close to the barrel, because you will throw your stasis and then you'll waste it. So during this section, I'm going to be skipping a couple of ads. I decided to just do the Warlock bunny hop. Something that hunters can wish they can do, but they can't. We're going to make our way, and we're going to make the train not pass us. And then during this section, I'm going to skip the hobgoblin from the right side. Just spam my sparrow, and then just make my way to deal with the hobgoblin and hydra. So one reason I did use lemon arc is because lemon arc can do poison on the hydra, especially on the shield. Just like glassway, you can also do it on the mini hydras in this Nightfall. So it does help a lot. I mean, yes, I am using a barrier pulse rifle, and I do know that you can do a run without anti-barrier. I have done it before on my previous videos, but for this one, I'm more focused on the turret build. Just to let everyone know, or curious, if you can do this run with no barrier. Yes, I have done it. It's not easy. Well, to be honest, I guess it is easier since the resilience is different compared to the old video I have done. So one thing you must be aware is when you do use your finisher, you have to be very careful with the stasis turret because, well, you can use your finisher and then the backpack can explode on you. So on a GM, it will one-shot you. On Master, not so much unless you have the Ashes to Acids mod, which I despise. Unless you're in a solo subclass, but other than that, it can be quite deadly. Now for this section, you can have two choices. You can just walk on rails like Sonic, kinda. Or you can go and spare your way to the train, just like Mario Kart. Kinda, right? So for me, I'm just gonna go walk on the rails And for this part, I'm definitely going to clear down a couple ads. Now, I don't have the Unstoppable, and yes, I know you can have the artifact mod with your Warlock melee to stagger Olo champions. But for me, I prefer Loosen Finisher because the linear fusion rifle I'm using, it doesn't really have a lot of heavy. Well, it doesn't have any extra perks where, you know, triple tap or any perks I can get more ammo, right? So for this specific linear that I'm using, I do need a couple of heavy, especially when I don't have the Unstoppable perk for my Warlock. I was trying to make this Unstoppable champion to move to the train. You can actually kill that champion on a train. Just make sure you tag the Unstoppable champion and the train will one-shot it or two-shot on GM. Really depends. That's one way of what you can do if something does go wrong and you can lure the Unstoppable champion to the train tracks. So as I said before, definitely just abusing the power build with the turrets or the firepower. So during this area, you can just throw turrets. Just be aware of the barrel. So I did shoot the barrel first before throwing my turret. You can also just throw the turret a little far away from the yellow barrel. So just be aware that it can kill your turret. Now during this section, there is the Hydra. So I am using Lemonarch to poison it. So as I said before, when you do shoot the shield or the white shield for this Hydra, you can still poison it with Lemonarch. So I am trying my best to throw a turret. Now be very careful for this section when throwing your turret because the trains can actually kill it. So you make sure you throw your turrets over the train tracks or behind the train tracks. Now this is everyone's playstyle. For me, since I have the adaptive pulse rifle, it is extremely less stressful to deal with this barrier champion. Now I usually clear down the ads first and then deal with the left or the right barrier champion. But because we're on Warlock and we are spamming stasis crystals, right? I decided to go for a different method and just deal with the barrier champion first. Do a couple of ad clear on the hobgoblins. Then once I do that, then I deal with the left side barrier champion. As I said before, everyone's different. I might do this Loadout probably on grandmaster, or I might do the high energy fire. It all really depends on my mood. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna go on Titan or Grandmaster or Warlock or Hunter. Not 100% sure, but I'm kind of liking the stasis Warlock, so maybe I might go. But then again on Hunter, but then again on Titan, it's just too much to pick for me. But so for this section, make sure you take down one of the Minotaurs. If you don't, then the Minotaur is going to follow you and then it's going to melee you. So you must take down one of the one of the Void Minotaurs right away. So you clear ads until you get the new objective. So usually it's exit the tunnels and now you have to escape. You have to defeat the escape prisoners or mainly the mini boss. So I did use my super. You can also just use Lemonarch. I just use it since I haven't used my super for a long time. So I was just using it just to get it out of the way. Now if I did have enough heavy, I would use my heavy right now. So I didn't have too much and I had no choice, so I had to spam my heavy. I wanted to save it. Then later, right, I realized there was a bunch of heavy that the train left. Always double check on that spot where I pick up bricks, because the train seems to push the heavy bricks all the way from the left side of the train tracks. So during this area, you could just throw your turret and then just spam lemon arc. Now, just to let everyone know, the acute is solar, so that's one reason why I decided to use this solar linear. I was thinking of using the bait and switch, but I don't really need it for Master Nightfall at all. And because there is loosen finisher, you can just abuse the artifact mod to spam finishers and get your heavy brick back. So that's mainly what I did for this Nightfall. And plus, the linear fusion has probably the most interesting sound effect when you do reload the weapon. I'm not really 100% sure. I think it's probably the only weapon that has this sound effect. Or maybe there is other weapons that I don't know. But that was the second reason why I wanted to use this weapon, because it has a really nice sound effect when you do reload the weapon. Now I am just luring the second unstoppable champion, and then I will spam linear fusion. I wanted to see if I can use my finisher so I can get a couple of heavy bricks. And then just skip all these ads. Because it's just snipers, it isn't really anything. If you're wondering what I'm doing over there, I was trying to pop a healing drift. Just in case the backpack explodes on me. So now over here, I'm going to just pass all these ads. You could also spam turrets. That way they won't snipe you. They'll be too distracted dealing with the stasis turrets. Now during this area, everyone is different. Make sure you take down the sniper. There's around 3 of them, but I think I only took down 2 or 1. So for this part, I definitely took one of the snipers, but I think there is 2 snipers. So now on this area, I do recommend taking down the barrier champion from the left side. Now I am going to take down the barrier champions. So definitely, if you can, try your best to spam loosen finishers so you can get enough heavy to deal with unstoppable champion. Alright, so once you do DPS at the barrier champion, then you can deal with unstoppable champion. So I try my best to do damage on unstoppable champion and then deal with the overload. On this area, I just run and then just get rid of these mines because they do damage you, especially on grandmaster, and they definitely can be a nightmare to deal with, especially when you are multitasking. So I do recommend to just get rid of these mines. You could just run over them and then they should be gone. So now this part, I am just going to be doing DPS at the barrier, well, the unstoppable champion. So I'm going to do a mini time skip here. So once I deal with the unstoppable champion, just spamming lemon arc, I wanted to save my heavy. I wanted to save my heavy since I need it for the unstoppable champion. Now we can deal with the Overload Champion and then capture the plates. So I do know where the barrier is going to spawn. So I'm going to throw a turret there so it can, you know, be tamed. So it won't walk around. So I am definitely going to take down the hobgoblins and then just turn back and hopefully we can deal with this barrier champion. So now I am just spamming heavy, and then you can use your loosen finisher when it's low on health. So for this area, I am looking for the unstoppable champion. He should be around here, especially from the far distance from the right side if he's not on this main little spot. So now he's going to be walking. Oh, look at him. Isn't he just adorable? You can just spam turrets, which I should have done. I kept forgetting it is lightning crystals. And then just spam lemon arc, and then you can use your finisher. Just be aware of the timer of A. Mainly you do need to capture the plates. So I did find a couple of heavy while I was defusing the mine or the bomb. I was trying to look for him, and then I finally found him, so definitely can take him down right away. And then I'm gonna go for B. So I'm gonna go for B. You can also throw your stasis turret and then deal with the Cabal and the champions. I'm gonna throw my stasis up ahead. There is an Overload champion. By the way, you can skip the Overload champion and still get platinum. So now on this area, I did use my super to just get rid of these hobgoblins and the ads. So right now I'm just using my stasis super and then just defusing the mine. And of course my stasis turret staggered Overload champion. My gosh. It's just being so reckless. The turret has a mind of its own. I have no control, by the way, with the stasis turret. I didn't want it to stagger the Overload champion, but it did. It did in this video. Alright, so now we're going to be dealing with the boss. Well, mini boss, not the final boss. So I'm definitely going to be using the Scorch Cannon. So just make sure you freeze the enemies or the cabals with the stasis turrets. So I was being a little blind there, so my bad for that. I am so sorry. I apologize. Your eyes probably hurt when you saw the screen all white. I mean, for me, it didn't hurt. I mean, finally I got my glasses with blue light, so it doesn't hurt me at all. But for other people, I apologize for that. So we're going to be dealing with the mini boss. But of course, we have to deal with more champions. It just gets better. I do recommend to just wait for the dialogue. Because there is this mini bug where if you rush on solo, not on team, if you don't wait for the Warden AI to stop talking, then you're going to have a bug where there won't be any champions, and then you have to wind up killing yourself. And on a grandmaster, you can't do that. Of course, on master, you can do that. Okay, no big deal. But on grandmaster version, no. Then you'd start all over again, and you waste, I would say, 20 minutes of your life. Maybe more, depending of your loadout, depending of your power level. Because now grandmasters are going to be a little different, because you can actually do the run on grandmaster under 40 power. So that means LFG is going to be crazy. I already can tell a lot of people are going to go on 1580, 1585, which is okay. I don't mind helping players to get the completion for grandmasters. It's all good. But for me, am I gonna do a solo run on grandmasters? under 40 power level. Not really 100% sure. I don't know if I even have time, to be honest, because I'm trying to work on other stuff. I'm trying to do some experiments on YouTube at the moment, and then personal life stuff, learn more softwares, and trying to get work done. Alright, so now I'm definitely going to be dealing with the Unstoppable Champion. So I'm going to do a mini time skip. Alright, so we dealt with the Unstoppable Champion, which I'm super happy. Because dealing with the Unstoppable Champion from long distance, especially without a bow or a scout, it's horrible. Alright, so now I'm going to be dealing with the Overload Champion. I'm going to be trying my best to farm Lucent Finisher. Now, I usually deal with the Cabal Champion because it does this herd apparent machine gun. And it never stops. Well, it does stop here and there, but it's extremely deadly, especially on grandmasters. Like you can see there. So be very careful with this barrier champion. Alright, so once you get the finisher, okay, it's really stubborn, you can get a couple heavy bricks, and now we get to deal with the Vex barrier champion. Of course, a hobgoblin, which I should have taken down, but my bad for that. What I'm going to do over here is I'm going to try my best to use as much of my heavy as I can. Now, I know that with the bait and switch linear fusion rifle, you can do massive damage and you can take down the boss much more quicker. I understand, I know, but some people don't even have the linear fusion. Alright, that's one of the reasons why I decided to use this one for alterations. So now I'm going to be throwing my turret and then trying my best to deal with this boss. So I'm trying my best to do as much DPS as I can, and he will teleport from the left side. When he's doing that, make sure you throw as much turrets as you can, and then just try your best to do as much DPS, as much linear as you can. Now, I was just getting a little flinch. That was the reason why I wasn't able to do my precision shots here and there. So I try my best to do precision shots with the linear, using the Rap's linear fusion solar, with high impact reserves, by the way. And we finally defeated the boss. We one-phased it. I would say not the strongest linear fusion, but it worked. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.